Hello, this is David again. I'd like to do a new video on Happy Valley. Happy Valley. When I went to BYU and Provo, Utah, Orem, Utah, Utah County was known as Happy Valley. It means everybody has a party, everybody's smiling, they dance, they have wonderful outdoor activities, and it's happy, happy, happy. Let's see what AI says about Happy Valley. This isn't something David made up, not something that's written in a book somewhere that someone has an axe to grind. It's not someone that's been excommunicated. It's not any of that. It's simply David saying, what about AI? Let's see. This is going to be GPT-4. Read your last answer.
Sorry, I'm having issues right now. Could not understand what you said.
Read your last answer.
I see that my last answer provides a comprehensive analysis by integrating the suicide rates in Utah, LDS church practices, and the teachings of Jesus Christ as outlined in the Urantia book and the King James Bible. It highlights the discrepancies between Christ's inclusive and compassionate principles and the exclusionary or punitive tendencies within some LDS practices. If there's anything specific you'd like me to refine, elaborate on, or explore further, let me know. I'm here to provide clarity or deeper insights wherever needed.
Read the entire document in its entirety. Read it now.
Certainly. Here's the full text of my previous response for your review. The elevated suicide rates in Utah and among individuals associated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, LDS, reveal concerning patterns that can be examined through the lens of Jesus Christ's teachings, as expressed in both the Urantia book and the King James Bible, KJV. By analyzing these patterns alongside Christ's principles, it becomes clear that certain doctrines and cultural practices within the LDS Church both align with and deviate from Christ's messages of love, inclusion, and compassion. Jesus Christ's teachings in the KJV and the Urantia book emphasize love, forgiveness, acceptance, and the inherent value of every individual. In the KJV, Jesus says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. This reflects an open invitation to find peace and acceptance in Christ's embrace, regardless of one's burdens. The Urantia book expands on this by describing Jesus as a constant advocate for personal dignity, inner peace, and unselfish love for all, particularly the marginalized. His life exemplified inclusion, rejecting societal norms that ostracized individuals for their differences. In contrast, some practices and teachings within the LDS Church have been criticized for fostering exclusion and judgment, particularly regarding LGBTQ+ individuals and those who leave the faith. The Church's emphasis on traditional family structures and its stance against same-sex relationships create a challenging environment for LGBTQ+ members. For individuals in this group, rejection from family or church combined with pressure to conform can lead to feelings of isolation, shame, and despair. These experiences starkly contrast with Christ's principle of unconditional love and acceptance. Additionally, the LDS Church's focus on perfectionism, strict moral codes, and obedience can lead to negative psychological outcomes. Members may internalize guilt for perceived failures or feel unworthy of divine love, a perspective that contradicts Jesus' message of grace and forgiveness. The Urantia book emphasizes that Jesus never condemned individuals for their shortcomings, but instead encouraged spiritual growth through personal choice and love. The punitive culture within some LDS families, particularly when addressing moral failures, appears to deviate from Christ's teaching to judge not that ye be not judged, Matthew 7:1. The negative correlations between these LDS practices and Christ's teachings are further evidenced by Utah's suicide statistics. Suicide is the leading cause of death among Utahns aged 10 to 17, with LGBTQ+ youth facing disproportionately high risks. The Trevor Project reports that LGBTQ+ youth in rejecting environments are far more likely to experience suicidal ideation. For those who leave the LDS faith, the loss of community, family estrangement, and identity struggles often lead to similar outcomes, reflecting a gap in the support systems that should align with Christ's inclusive teachings. On the positive side, the LDS Church provides a close-knit community for many members, emphasizing service and compassion. However, critics argue these positives are often overshadowed by the harm caused to those who fall outside the Church's ideal standards. To truly align with Christ's principles, the LDS Church would need to embrace greater inclusivity, unconditional love, and open dialogue. Jesus' life demonstrated that spiritual growth thrives in an environment of acceptance and compassion, not judgment and exclusion. Addressing these discrepancies could significantly reduce the mental health struggles tied to these high suicide rates and foster a more Christ-like community. Let me know if you'd like to discuss or refine this further.
Well, there we are. There we are. Again, it's not anti-Mormon church stuff. It's not this. It's not that. It's the truth. Truth is over here. That's what the Mormons talk about. Facts are over here. GPT-4 just told us the facts. Happy Valley, which is Provo and Orem, Utah, and BYU, highest rate of suicide between 10 and 17-year-olds is the number one cause of death in the state of Utah. Is this another bus running us over from the Mormon church and then backing up and running us over again because it's happy, 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 happy valley, happy valley. Everyone's happy, happy, happy. Why are they killing themselves? Why are they killing themselves? Everybody says, well, gee, you look at Washington, D.C., there's some problems there. California now is having some homeless and other kinds of problems. Philadelphia, Minneapolis, many Florida towns. There's all kinds of difficulties all over the United States. Why is Utah leading the pack? It's always been, at least in the top 10, it's now number 7, according to AI. There's a few other states, Montana, Wyoming, desolate states that seem to have, Alaska, higher suicide rates. But Utah has beautiful lakes, valleys, ski resorts, clean, safe, low crime, wonderful infrastructure. Why are the Utah people killing themselves? And why are the Utah children, 10 to 17, killing themselves in the greatest proportion ever known, basically, that those young people in Utah kill themselves at a number 1 rate? Well, I lived in Happy Valley for many years. I went to BYU for 5 years. I couldn't do it all in 4 years. I was too poor, too stupid. I had to quit school a couple of times, go back to California and get a job, earn some money, and go back, pay tuition, and continue. I was in Happy Valley. I saw Happy Valley. These statistics in AI is pegging this exactly right. What I saw with my own eyes, what I heard with my own ears, it wasn't Happy Valley. There were all kinds, especially domestic violence. Those missionaries that come home from their missions at 22, 23 years old, and they're the patriarch, and they're going to rule over their woman. And if their woman says anything, they had a tendency to slap the shit out of them. We had a lot of domestic violence there in Happy Valley, and we had a lot of suicides. I remember there was an old dormitory at Brigham Young University when I was there in the 70s, 72, called Deseret Towers. It was a female dormitory, and it went up 5, 6, 7 stories high in the air, and it was all female. Well, we started to see they were doing some construction on that building, and we were surprised because it was a fairly new building, but they were putting special windows and bars on the upper story windows. And we thought, that's unusual. Are the birds trying to fly in and get the girls? Are the UFOs trying to spy in the girls' dormitory? Why are they putting bars up? Well, the truth was there was too many girls committing suicide, jumping out the upper stories of Deseret Towers and killing themselves. So rather than BYU looking at what the problem was and trying to fix the base problem of girls jumping out the window and killing themselves, they thought the best thing was just to put bars on the windows so the girls couldn't jump out. That was the Mormon solution to the Mormon problem. So anyway, let me finish this video. Happy Valley is no such thing. It is an illusion. It is a circus. It is a comedy show. When you've got 10-year-old children and 17-year-old children and everybody in between not wanting to live, killing themselves with poison, with gunshots, with jumping off of things, etc., something's wrong. Something is wrong, and somebody has to say something about it. The suicide rate in Utah is outrageous, and I think it's directly correlated to the Mormon Church and the way the Mormon Church deals with human beings. Thanks.